please, we'll have a serious topic to discuss today, which says bandits attack Niger community, 30 feared dead, others adopted. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, it's a continuation of normal thing we have been experiencing in Nigeria for, I would not say it's actually abnormal, but the Nigerian government actually made it look as if, it is something that has actually come to stay. Islamization and jihadists have been operating in Nigeria for over 30, 40, or even more than that, And one of their mission is to make sure that Nigeria actually collapse under their control, surrender under their control, and then there will be peace, then there will be no killing, then there will be no security challenge as we are seeing today. Even a signal coming from the outside world, from US precisely, we saw last time that a state in northern part of the country was actually attacked. It is a signal, it is a clear signal that the possibility of deploying American ground forces on Nigeria militarily is likely going to take place. It's likely going to take place. But at that point, the Northerners are threatening that if there's a direct military deployment, foot soldiers on the ground of Nigeria, then the Nigeria will definitely erupt in war. That is going to be regional. That is going to be uprising within the country, and they will spearhead it. That's what they were trying to talk about. The Northern Muslims are saying that they will spearhead any or restrict any or resist any American troops on the soil of Nigeria. We are not talking about, yes, we are not talking about launching an attack. We are not talking about using technology to hit a target maybe from over 100 kilometers far from the target point. No. If there is, just like what Asari Bekuba is saying at the same time, I think they are still to be sharing the same view, that what they want to see how American troops, ground forces are going to conquer. That's what Nigeria will definitely, because the fact that nobody knows whether they are under serious surveillance now, because this killing, I always say it is not going to stop. There's no amount of attack that is going to stop it until other options are being put on the table. Remember, Nigerian government themselves has adopted kinetic and non-kinetic means to make sure that they curb this thing, whether in printers or what. But the reality on ground is that it has not been successful.
Okay, now we have that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent police, DSS, in order for this to stop this bandits about this. Are you aware of that?
Sending a police, army, or ordering security agencies, or deploying, telling the chief of army staff, the minister of defense, or whoever, whatever it is, to go after them, it has no impact, and it will never have any impact. We have seen even when Nigerians are beckoning, Buhari is now a general. He's going to add. He's a general in the army. He's experienced. At the end of the day, 8 years, 0/0. All the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying, I deploy, I give you, I go there and make sure you fish them. They are not fishing anything out. They know the solution to Nigeria. We need a superior power, a superior force. We don't need. Nigerian government should admit that. Of course, if not wholly, to an extent, they've admitted that they cannot do it. That means there's no sovereignty in Nigeria. They cannot protect Nigerian citizens. That means there's no government. That's what it means. So we need to be colonized by Americans. Is that what they are trying to tell us? So those are not something we should be talking about, because they have tried it over and over. The next thing you hear now is the security meeting, emergency rule, whatever. At the end of the day, they are still killing. But the fact still remains is that, you know, why are they killing? Why has the killing not stopped? That's the question. What are they actually fighting for? What is the reason of this killing? How did this thing erupted? It's just not about staying in Abuja whenever there is an attack. Imagine a whole what happened in Niger State. You know, the entire market square was burnt completely down. Over 5,000, 10,000 bullets was emptied on innocent people in that area. Many died on the spot. And while these things were happening, there was no immediate rescue. Nobody came to actually rescue them. So it gives you the impression that Nigeria does not need this kind of, you know, security challenge now, because if we have advanced to a certain stage, we are still underdeveloping, not even developed, underdeveloping nation. So at this point now, the only way out is Nigeria should division. Let us start pretending about this unfortunate unity, where a certain section of the country is still seen as a victim of exploitation by other regions.
Now, at what point do you think the government orders become real action that saves lives?
There's no time the action. The action is always real when it comes to how to compromise to loot Nigerian resources. That's why the action is very. You can see how sophisticated they are. You know, when it comes to sharing and looting, you know, padding the budget, manipulation, you know, oppression. That's where you see them. They are very active. You remember a certain world leader said Nigeria is a fantastically corrupt nation. So that's where they major on. But when it comes to, you know, what to do to stop these killings in Nigeria, they pretend a lot. So they cannot even find a solution. And at this point, they are currently overwhelmed. And Nigerians cannot be seen dying on daily basis because of unity. Because we want to be in one place. And people are dying. And you say, that is nationhood. That is not a nation. We are no longer a nation. Where we see at every point in time, foreign intervention, our sovereignty is being tampered with at will. You know, Nigeria is no longer respected within the committee of. Even the president himself is tired. The legislators, they are tired. The governors themselves, they are tired. Nobody seems to know where the problem is coming from. And the thing became very significant. The moment Mazinga Mekano was declared, that judgment was declared against him, Nigeria turned spiritually and physically upside down. So many things that have not been happening in Nigeria started happening immediately. And that is why Gumi now, our Sultan of Sokoto, is calling for the immediate release of Mazinga Mekano. Because they don't understand that the person they are holding has a divine mandate. There is no need of holding a man whose divinity and destiny is tied to the God of heavens and earth. When Mazinga Mekano was still in DSS custody, there was no American invasion. We did not hear the Sultan of Sokoto has escaped from his palace and ran away. We did not hear, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, Gumi is deleting all his social media handles. Everybody seems to be up and down because Mazinga Mekano is as innocent as. Everything is collapsing under Nigeria. For the fact, some things that have never happened in Nigeria have started happening to Nigeria. That's what the Bible says. That when these things started happening, know that the time has come.
So should security chiefs still be in office After 30 people are all killed in one.
Okay, we just brought in new security chiefs. You can see there was a recycle, that happened recently. The man, Christopher Musa, that was sacked, was brought back as the Minister of Defense. Matawale is still there. All the structures, they sent the remaining ones, brought in the new ones, and the new ones are telling you that we are on top of the situation. Let us see how on top they are, as time goes.
They are on top, and 30 people are dying in one street.
It's not only 30. Before they hit that very particular place, they hit another place in Adamawa. Yes. So they have been hitting different locations. It is the one that the media can report that we can hear. One of the people that have been kidnapped on daily basis, who is reporting them? Nobody is reporting them.
Now, Obi came out to say that, Obi came out to call this, he said it's a national shame. Do you agree with him, or you think it's just a political talk?
Of course, that Nigeria has not been able to be a nation, talkless of being a country. You have to be a nation first, then you can grow to a country. America grew from nationhood to country. America is a country today. France is a country. Britain is a country. Now, if you look at some South North African countries, you will see that sense of leadership in them. But you see anything apart from that, there is we are working among the Sahel nations now. But you see anything Nigeria and the rest of them, they need to. I don't know whether they should turn to prayers, or I don't know what the problem is. So many things is wrong with Nigeria. The major problem Nigeria is facing today is corruption and tribalism. Obi presence now, because they want to give it to Obi. They want to hand over presidency to Peter Obi. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the end of the day did not experience Venezuela call, he might likely going to adopt Obi as the next president come 2027. That is just it. Because it's of no use to the international community. It's of no use to Nigerians anymore. So if Obi is coming into the picture saying that it's a national disgrace, it is 100% a national disgrace. There's no two ways about it.